During burial, the LC3 chairman of Ngarame sub-county, Matsiko Champa, blamed police for failing to settle such disputes, with some allegedly having conflict of interest.
Kunkani nimbagambira ngo nabwo kutware eberagiro mu ngaro nabwo tubyegendesereze imporo mwene mbata embwa enkoko ekibyone bisanje fire empunu biha
bantu mo kwitanuko bantu mo muntu kari kunyizyo tari mwita at least mukwase nyamahango wa yiguru wachenga muganda wanje mureka mutarita.
It has left behind 12 children and numerous wives. Very sad story there. Now let's cross to West Nile, where Jackie Chandiru, a renowned Ugandan musician, has joined education stakeholders in West Nile to sensitize students against strikes in schools. From February to early April this year, West Nile has experienced a wave of strikes in over 23 schools, most notable St. Joseph's College Ombachi, where one student died. Now, one of the causes to rampant strikes in schools has been attributed to drug abuse among students, which Jackie Chandiru wants to address through her experience.
While I use my example, the one thing I would want them to know is to realize that there's always a consequence for whatever action it is.
Jackie Chandiru, a Ugandan musician and a former member of the Blue Three, hailing from West Nile, has joined education stakeholders in the sub-region to advocate against the strikes in secondary schools. According to stakeholders, among them school managers, security and political wings of West Nile, most of the strikes are associated with drug abuse by students. However, coming on board to fight the vice is a renowned singer, Jackie Chandiru, who prefers to use her experience of drug abuse to sensitize students against drug abuse that can lead them into regrettable behavior in future.
I would like to use my example when it comes to my past. I abused a drug called pethidine, and indeed up to today I am still paying the consequence of using that drug. It has not been an easy journey for me. It took 5 years for me to get completely off this drug. You see, what these youths are looking for from alcohol and drugs, should I say, they can get. It is something very temporary. And in the end, it's going to definitely lead them to enough problems which they will not even begin to comprehend or try to solve.
Member of Parliament for Arua Central Division, Jackson Atima, is among the stakeholders who has blamed the parents for not manning their children with better behavior.
Instead of us focusing on studies, our children chose to go for strikes. For petty reasons, it has been discovered that most of the ringleaders of these strikes are from families where there is problem with parenting. We shall continue to lag behind as a region when we do not take education serious.
The resident city commissioner of Arua City, Alice Akelo Opio, disclosed that her office is still tracing for a parent who is said to have been sneaking opium into students' dormitories in one of the schools that recently went on strike.
Jackie, you are very welcome, and I think you are going to be a role model. As Sue, the head teacher, told us one parent sneaked 2 bags of opium into the playground, and I'm still looking for that parent. I want to get hold of him and find out what his intentions were. If it is money, that is not the way to make money. You cannot make money at the expense of the future of our young generation.
Principal Education Officer of Arua City, Raymond Ombere, noted that strikes in schools cannot be a way of solving problems for the students.
Strikes are backward ways of solving a problem. And I would like to appeal to our young people to make sure that you use these schools for the purpose for which they were made. not to destroy them.
From February to early April this year, over 23 schools in West Nile have been involved in strikes, including St. Joseph's College Ombachi in Arua City, where one student died. Districts that experienced rampant strikes within the same period are Maracha, Terego, Koboko, Moyo, and Arua City. Joseph Orama, UBC.
Good move there by Jackie Chandiru. Of course, strikes are not good at all. We'll now take a short break and return with much more.
Need to send money to a loved one but you don't have enough on your phone? Have you run out of fuel but you don't have enough money? Do you want to pay for yaka or water but have insufficient funds? Or do you want to shop but you don't have enough money? Don't worry, get away with MTN Momo Advance. Momo Advance tops up your Momo to complete your transactions. Dial star 165 star 5 star 3 hash to apply. MTN Momo Advance is always available when you need it.
COVID-19 is still here with us. As Professor Maggie Chigozi states, the time is now for all of us to get vaccinated.
When we have one person who's not vaccinated, it affects everybody around them, most especially the ones close to you. Keep your family safe. Anyone right now who's over 18 should go and get vaccinated.
Because of the new COVID-19 circulating variants like Omicron, it is very important for all of us to be fully vaccinated with 2 doses of the same vaccine type. It's only those getting Johnson & Johnson who receive only a single dose to be fully protected.
Even after vaccination, continue to adhere to all SOPs by wearing a mask properly, covering your mouth and nose, washing your hands regularly with soap and clean water or using an alcohol-based sanitizer, maintaining physical distance of at least 2 meters from others and avoiding crowds. Echa COVID-19, chija kugwa. This message is from the Ministry of Health with support from UNICEF and partners.
A World Cup in the desert? The first one in the Middle East. The first to be held at the end of the year? That's crazy. Get ready for spectacular moves. High-flying saves. Unbelievable goals. Out of this world celebrations.
Would you believe it? What a moment here!
All 64 matches live. That's over 5,000 action-packed minutes of the FIFA 2022 World Cup Qatar. Now that's crazy. Catch all the action only on SuperSport, your world of champions. On Go TV. Love it.
Get connected today with the My Airtel 4G smartphone and enjoy free data for 1 whole year worth 86,500 Uganda shillings. That's free 2 GB for the first month and free 1 GB for the next 11 months at only 250,000 Uganda shillings with free data for 1 whole year worth 86,500 shillings, making the effective price of the 4G phone 163,500 shillings only. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back from that short break, and this is News Tonight here on UBC TV. Now, the Chancellor of Kaiwa International University and founder of Namirembe Christian Fellowship, Professor Simeon Kaiwa, has urged believers and non-Christians to pray, love each other unconditionally, and put their confidence in the Lord our God. On high inflation, Professor Kaiwa advised Ugandans to be patient as government seeks for a solution to the problem. This was contained in his Easter Monday sermon to the congregation of Namirembe Christian Fellowship at Kaiwa Village in Rubaga Division here in Kampala.
It was a moment of repentance and taking Holy Communion at Namirembe Christian Fellowship as part of the celebrations to mark the end of 2022 Easter season. Pastor Lydia Waswa of Namirembe Christian Fellowship told the congregation that Holy Communion is part of the Christian sacrament, symbolizing the realization of a spiritual union between Jesus as body and blood.
Salvation for their beloved, speaking to
Easter Monday is the day Jesus Christ emerged from the tomb after his crucifixion. In his sermon, Chancellor Kaiwa International University and founder of the Christian Fellowship, Professor Simeon Kaiwa.
Resurrection is the victory of healing, the victory of the power of healing, and the power of surviving death, survival of death. Is something very, very big and encouraging to us all that even though we're supposed to be dead, now because of Jesus Christ we should be able to live like he was able to live again. So resurrection actually is a demonstration of our human survival when we get into a relationship with Jesus Christ.
Professor Simeon Kaiwa called upon government to solve the high inflation, especially on the most affected groups, and advised Ugandans to remain calm because high inflation is not a permanent situation.
People should be able to be patient and know that the government cannot sit there regarding looking at people dying of poverty without caring to save the situation. There are international issues, the COVID, the wars, and other things that are causing inflation, and even petrol prices in other countries. All the things are causing inflation, and it's not really the making of one government, it's the making of the entire international community.
He urged Christians to practice patience, repent, love each other, and trust in the Lord. The Ancient Calvary Cross Choir, in unison with Worship Force of Namirembe Christian Fellowship, led the worship and praise. Story by Robert Boita.
To Butembo now, where besides congestion, schools in Butembo district in eastern Uganda have suffered hailstorms and other disasters, some of which have affected classroom blocks. And now this has increased the population of students with a full reopening of the economy after the COVID-19 pandemic. Butembo District Woman Member of Parliament Agnes Amede wants relevant government ministries and departments to the rescue of the affected education institutions. Henry Okrut reports.
It has been now a month the school has been waiting for the iron sheets. Nothing has happened.
The school in question is Kakoro High. It is located along Mbale Nakaloke, Kabwanga-Sibutebo Highway. It suffered strong winds and hailstorms in 2021, which left the school incapacitated following the partial destruction of this classroom block. When we visited the school in March 2022, lessons were ongoing, but the classes were congested to the bone marrow.
So as of now, the main challenge is you get the classrooms roofed first, then we can still liaise with the government to get us more teachers.
The concern continues to be stuck in the memory of the woman member of parliament, Agnes Amede. She is worried of what may become of the rains that are back with similar related disasters.
We have issues of national or issues of disaster or concern that happen in our districts, but we write directly to these line ministers. But these ministers have no courtesy to reply.
Unfortunately, the shortage of classes in secondary schools is worsened by the recent phasing out of universal secondary education financial support to private schools. This has made the challenge of congestion even worse than before.
And now when you add on the storm causing such a problem, now you look at the numbers in class is big.
Because now they cannot afford paying in the private. So most of the parents have now pushed the children to these government-aided secondary schools.
But what informed this decision? This is a question whose answer is just here.
The funds which were being given to private schools to implement the PPP arrangement in the universal secondary education were being misused. They were not serving the purpose for which they were being given.
Financial support or not, disaster or otherwise, the challenge of congestion in schools cuts across primary to secondary levels. And the Butembo district in the Rukid sub-region of eastern Uganda is not doing well.
What is it that Ministry of Education is planning to do to alleviate these poor learning conditions that in essence affect grades of students?
How can we optimize the facilities that we already have in place? So that is why we encourage schools, please adopt the shift system.
Schools may be in holidays as of now, but what lies ahead in terms of congestion, according to local and national leaders, requires urgent attention. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Choose our with Airtel Money Quick Loans. Get a top-up loan when you have insufficient funds to buy airtime, pay utility bills, or make payments at a local supermarket. Complete your transaction and pay later. Dial *185 *7 *10# to opt in. Get an Airtel Money Quick Loan and pay later. Choose our with Airtel Money Quick Loans in partnership with Housing Finance Bank and powered by Yabex. Airtel, the smartphone network.
It's no secret that ICT makes learning easy.
The strides made in our field could not be possible without it.
And now we can watch our favorite shows.
My radio is my best friend.
UCC provides an enabling regulatory environment and policy guidance for healthy competition. We also facilitate ease of doing business in the communications sector through licensing, standardization, spectrum management, tariff regulation, rural communication development, and consumer empowerment. An informed consumer is an empowered consumer. UCC supports local content and innovations. Driving the development of a robust communication sector in Uganda is Uganda Communications Commission.
Pay for your dream phone, Mpola. Get your dream phone today for as low as 1,400 Uganda shillings with free data for a year and pay slowly. All phones come with daily 50 MBs for 12 months. Repayment period is 1 year. Available at MTN service centers and M-Copper shops.
Football packages, great entertainment,
sports, the local content, telenovela, the movies. There is something for everybody. Go TV, this is where great stories live.
Get the best entertainment for any budget. With GoTV, you will have great entertainment for as little as 13,000 Uganda shillings per month. GoTV, great stories, Zidiwano. GoTV Uganda, love it.
Even with my grandson, a doctor at my side, I struggled to get the help I needed. But he saw something that day. He began to work day and night. He wouldn't quit, even when people said no. He wouldn't stop fighting. He knew something had to change, and his vision was bigger than anyone could imagine. He made it possible to receive quality medical services anywhere in Uganda by simply using a phone.
This is a story of a regular Ugandan just like you, who harnessed the power of technology to provide a solution for us. How about you tell us your story? UG needs more of you. To share your story, visit airtel.co.ug/UG needs more of you or call or SMS 162.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back. Let's have a look at what's happening in the world of business. And we go to Oyam District, where leaders of Oyam District are calling for a concerted effort in promoting soft skills development in secondary schools. They say March's government has introduced a new curriculum to promote both hands-on and soft skills among learners. A lot is still required to avert the current knowledge gap leading to high crime rates. Benson Dela, the Oyam district chairperson, says the high crime rate and teenage pregnancy in the district is a result of idleness and redundancy among youths. Now, as we hear in this report, Oyam district registered over 11,000 teenage pregnancies, putting them top in Lango sub-region.
Oyam district registered the highest number of teenage pregnancy in Lango sub-region. Over 11,000 young girls were impregnated within 1.5 years.
A girl who cannot even buy her clothes, a girl who have totally nothing to take care of the child. I'm really appealing to the government and assist these vulnerable ladies.
Besides teenage pregnancies, local leaders say there is high crime rate among youth in the district. Benson Dela, the Oyam district chairperson, says high crime rate and teenage pregnancy in the district is a result of idleness and redundancy among youth. Dela urged leaders to mentor the young people.
Because if we don't build leadership in our young generations, this country will be left in the hand of, I don't know, I can't call dogs.
Wherever we have a political rally, that's where we look for youth. And then we give them something very little to help us mobilize people. And after, when we assume the office, we abandon them.
Uganda has the second youngest population in the world, where close to 78% of the population is below the age of 30. From 32 universities, Uganda graduates over 30,000 annually. Unfortunately, all of them cannot be absorbed by the limited jobs available.
Most of the employers complain that they recruit employees, but then they do not have the right skills for the roles that they're given. So our interventions and through even the lower competency-based curriculum is to strengthen the ability of a child or of a learner to get this kind of skills.
So we are not only teaching subjects, learning subjects, but we are also putting in practical subjects to empower them, to also prepare them for life ahead of us.
Government enrolled a competency-based lower secondary curriculum to help learners get hands-on skill that can sustain them after the school. Through the Regional Education Learning Initiative Rally, FEJ has joined the broad front in Oyam district to emphasize this government initiative. FEJ uses socio-emotional learning model to empower adolescents to be self-reliant.
So that the children or the learners catch up to understand, but also the teachers understand the methodologies on how to teach well so that the curriculum can be promoted in a appropriate way.
That we invite the girls in one place and then we take them through our curriculum. We have a curriculum for the soft skills development, which is called a social and emotional learning curriculum.
The competence-based lower secondary curriculum is currently in Senior 2 and will be examined in Senior 3. However, most schools say they lack expertise and materials to deliver the content. Eddie Oloa, UBC News.
It's no secret that ICT makes learning easy.
The strides made in our field couldn't be possible without it.
And now we can watch our favorite show.
My radio is my best friend.
UCC provides an enabling regulatory environment and policy guidance for healthy competition. We also facilitate ease of doing business in the communications sector through licensing, standardization, spectrum management, tariff regulation, rural communication development, and consumer empowerment. An informed consumer is an empowered consumer. UCC supports local content and innovations. Driving the development of a robust communication sector in Uganda is Uganda Communications Commission.
Now, over 800 animals have been recovered from Napak district around Lions Bridge area. The animals were raided last night from a Gia kraal by suspected Bokora and Madeniko warriors. The operation was led by the 405th Brigade Commander in Naka Perimoru, Kotido district, Colonel Wilberforce Serunkuma.
Joint security forces in Karamoja have recovered over 800 herds of cattle which were raided by a combination of suspected warriors of Bokora from Napak and Matheneko from Moroto from a J kraal in Kotido district.
Cows were recovered before at night by the security forces. So around 800 to 900 cows have so far been recovered.
800 to 900 cows. Behind me, we are having 226 cows. There are other 60 cows coming here. There are other 90 also cows which the people are driving now from Uralukwanga to the kraal.
The operation was conducted by ground band air support.
They are wise thinking of bringing us the force multiplier because warriors thought that UPDF cannot operate at night. But now we have got an additional eye to operate at night. I think this one will bring an end of this insecurity.
Clear testimony that the joint security forces are doing much as possible to recover and also pursue these criminals. We shall intensify our operations to pursue the criminals, recover the stolen livestock, and also ensure that security of life and property is guaranteed within the sub-region and also the neighboring districts.
The commander of 405 Brigade in Nakaperimoru, Kotido district, Colonel Wilberforce Serunguma, says the collaboration between leaders and security led to the success story.
With the time, we are going to be in peace in Karamoja. We need the support, and we appreciate the support of leaders if always we coordinate like this.
Kotido leaders appreciated security for the quick response.
To thank the UPDF, to congratulate them, to salute them for the tremendous job that they have done. It was last night, around this very time, 5 p.m., when the raid occurred in a kraal in Kamur, nearing now South Division. We coordinated the whole night. We did not sleep. And around 5 a.m. in the morning, together with the chairman, drove out to this area of Lions Bridge together with the security forces, and we want to thank them for the recovering these cows that we have seen behind us.
Information being given by the boys, we are tracking the cows. That is what made this operation a success. Without those Karashuna, the young boys were following these guys, following the footmarks or the nyai of the cows, without them providing us accurate